let's talk about the digestion of proteins. Now, proteins digestion starts in the stomach, it doesn't start in the mouth. And they are only partially digested within the stomach. So first of all, you've got gastric juice. And in gastric juice, you've got two enzymes. You've got renin and you've got pepsin. And both of them work best in an acidic medium, which is great because your stomach, remember, is actually a pH of 2, which is very, very, very acidic. Now, renin, which is actually the same thing that they extract from baby cow stomachs so that they can make cheese. Now, what renin does is that it clots or solidifies this protein called casein in milk. All right, and once it's solidified, then the pepsin can actually act on it. So what you need to know is that if you eat a food that does not contain milk in it, the renin is not going to do anything because the renin only works on this casein which is found in milk. Okay, so the second enzyme, pepsin, will actually break down proteins into polypeptides. So what you see here is that it's a step-by-step breakdown. It's not going to go from proteins directly into amino acids. It's first broken down into polypeptides. All right, then the food travels down into the small intestine. And in the small intestine, you get this next enzyme, which is trypsin, which comes from your pancreatic juice. Now, it's going to break your proteins down another step. So it's going to take polypeptides and turn them down into peptides. So you're getting rid of the poly and just turning down to peptides. Okay, so that's what trypsin does. And then after that, from the intestinal juice, you're going to get a class of enzymes called peptidases. So you see here, peptid, which is the front part of this word, peptides. So the peptidases are actually going to break down peptides into amino acids. Well, the special thing about these peptidases is that it's also going to help break polypeptides into amino acids. All right, so that's the final step. And once they're in this form, the amino acid, the smallest form of the proteins, it then gets absorbed by the small intestine. So to help you to remember those enzyme names, I'm just going to teach you a nifty little trick. So if you look at the word protein, you notice that the first two letters in the word are P and R. And so that's going to help you remember that while in the stomach, you've got pepsin and you've got renin. Then once it travels down into the small intestine, the next enzyme that's going to work is trypsin. So that's the T there, trypsin. And that breaks down polypeptides into peptides. Now, I don't have any clever way of helping you remember the peptidases, but you can remember that there's this I here, which is actually intestinal juice, and from the intestinal juice you get the peptidases, which break down polypeptides and peptides into amino acids, and then they're absorbed.